All right, it is Mando Gutierrez coming to us from his barbershop, by the way. We'll just go ahead and throw that out there. But getting ready for a Dana White's Contender Series opportunity, man. Just talk to me what the feel is like knowing that, that's kind of just what's a few weeks away at this point.
It feels amazing, honestly. But I'm one of those people that's really big on the power of visualization and manifestation. So I think I've lived this moment so many times in my life that I feel like this is what's supposed to happen. So it's just like any other day, preparing, getting ready. If anything, just anxious for the day to get here. Like I can't wait to get in there and perform in front of everybody. It's like it's been a long time coming, so I'm ready to bring it to fruition.
What's the preparation like, man? I mean, you say like you've kind of thought about getting here, you've visualized it, but I mean, now that it's here, do you up the intensity? Do you dial it back to keep yourself healthy? I mean, like, what's the balance?
For me, my big thing has always been that's like what I take the most pride in when it comes to my like approach towards fighting is that I got everything I got off of hard work. So I train every single day like I'm in fight camp. There's no difference ever. So nothing ever really changes. If anything, it's the diet. The diet's the biggest part for me. So I definitely have to cut back the calories a little bit. But other than that, everything's the same. The preparation's the same. I'm just sharpening my sword and getting ready for battle. So when the day comes, the hard work's gonna show and hasn't failed me yet. So it won't that night either.
I love it, man. Obviously, last fight in February, some scheduling changes, and of course, you signed for this opportunity. So I guess, is it good that you've had some time away to kind of rest, or you wish maybe you would have been a little more active? What's this year been like for you?
Um, Honestly, I've had ever since my fight in February, I never really got a break after that. I was halfway through Fat Week and I got a potential call to go like for a short notice fill in for the UFC. So I cut all the weight again, cut 22 pounds in 24 hours, and just for them to tell me that they ended up going with somebody else. So it was a little false alarm, but it's okay. I went through a roller coaster of emotions that weekend, and I was like, well, maybe the call is gonna come sometime soon. So time to stay ready. So then I was right back in the gym, didn't take any time off whatsoever, and started preparing for my next fight. And then I had the first injury of my entire career, which was a speed bump in its own, something I never really dealt with, but I didn't really let it sideline me. I still controlled what I could control and got better at things that didn't bother my elbow that was injured. So I still kept getting better and finding ways to improve aside from using my elbow. And then I hopped right back into this. I was gonna take a regional fight against a tough opponent to bounce, like not miss a step and just get right back to work. And 30 seconds, no exaggeration, 30 seconds after I announced my fight, my manager, the tab pulls up at the top right there saying Raul Rosas, September 20th. Just I hadn't even locked my phone. I had just posted it, and that's when that happened. So that's how I was
Ah,
down.
that's hilarious, man. All right, so September 20th, Raul Rosas Jr. We'll talk about his age in a second, obviously. But a Mexico versus Mexico matchup. I mean, you got the jersey on right now,
Oh
man.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
so talk to me. I mean, I just wonder what your take is on it. Because, right, on the one hand, it's a cool thing, right? I mean, the sport is growing in Mexico, and you guys are kind of leading this next generation. And so it's cool. On the other hand, I think back to like the days where, like, the Brazilians didn't want to fight other Brazilians because they didn't want their countrymen to be kind of down or whatever. So I don't know. I guess there's a positive way to look at it and a negative way to look at it. So what's your take on it?
I don't really think there is a negative way to look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, the sport is only growing. It's going to keep growing and it's going to keep getting better. If anything, it's pretty cool that it's to the point now where you're not just trying to take care of every single, foreigner that's trying to make it in so they can work their way up to the UFC. Now it's competitive. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to take this spot. So I'd rather it be me than him. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to put some pressure on him and I'm going to get my contract. God willing, everything will go as planned. But I mean, I don't think there is a negative side. At the end of the day, the kid's 17 years old. He's gonna make. He's no doubt he's gonna go far. He's gonna do big things. He has a bright future ahead of him. But September 20th is gonna be my night. Everything like I plan for everything to go my way. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm gonna go out there and take care of business and get my contract. It's something that I've worked so hard for a long time, and I think that's just the way it's gonna go. I am proud that it's two like a fellow countryman that I'm going against. But at the same time, business is business. We got to do what we got to do. This doesn't matter if it was here or a regional show. It's like it is what it is. It wouldn't matter there, so it shouldn't matter here. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna throw down just like like all Mexican warriors do. You know, with the heart of a lion. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna fight, and the better man's gonna get his hand raised.
So you mentioned it, the age, the 17-year-old. I mean, the stories leading into it. It's already some discussion, but I'm sure as we get closer, it's going to be all the talk that he's the kid. I mean, are you okay with that? Do you feel like it's stealing your shine a little bit that he's going to be getting all the attention, or is it like cool, let him deal with all the pressure and all the whatever he's going to have to deal with? Like, what's your take on that?
Absolutely, I think it's one of those things where like I've known who this guy is for a while because I mean I like training in Vegas at the gym that he trains at. So I've heard of him before. I know he's on the scene. He fights out a lot of Mexican promotions. So I know who he is. I know exactly who he is. And I know he's tough. You know, he's obviously here for a reason. They didn't give him this opportunity just because of his age. So I'm not underestimating him or his ability whatsoever. I know he's tough. I know he's game, but I truly don't care who it is. I'd fight a 12-year-old in there to get my contract. It don't matter to me. You know, if anything, all this talk and everything, I think that's on him. That's all that type of stuff falls on him. That's his narrative, not mine. My narrative is I'm gonna go out there and get my contract because I've paid my dues, I've done the work, and it's time to collect. You know, but going back to the age thing, you know, I didn't realize it was going to be as big of a deal as it was. I knew his age from the time I accepted the fight, but I didn't think it was going to get blown way out of proportion like that. I didn't realize so many people were going to talk about it and care about it. But the more eyeballs on it, the better. I'd gladly spoil the party.
I love it. So of him. Did you guys ever get any roles in together?
Actually, no. I think it's just a weird way of the universe working itself out. You know, I mean, somehow whenever I was there, I didn't really see him, but I knew he was in the scene. I know he trains with a lot of the guys that I typically train with when I'm out there, and all my homies out there know him. So, um, yeah, I mean, he's been in the scene, but never seen him personally. So it is what it is. The first time we get to see what each other's about is in the cage, which that's the best way to do it.
Looking forward to it. Well, it should be an exciting fight. Now, here's the funny thing: you guys really both known for solid grappling games. So do you go out there and you fist bump and sit down and go from there, or
Honestly, with all due respect, I feel like that's his game plan. He's hopefully trying to suck me into a grappling fight, but that's not my intention whatsoever. This is MMA, you know. I don't mind where the fight takes place. If it's on the feet, if it's on the ground, I'm okay wherever. I feel like I've been doing this longer. I feel like I'm more experienced and I'm more well rounded than he is, in my humble opinion. And I think I just have more tools to win this fight. So my job is to go out there and dictate the pace, dictate where the fight takes place, and do all the right things and try to put on a flawless performance, dominant performance, and get my contract. I know what he's coming with. I know what he's good at, and I'm no dummy. I don't want to be down there any longer than I have to. But I feel like he has to worry about my grappling just as much. I have great grappling too. I'll snatch that neck up quick, just like he will. So I feel like it's gonna be an entertaining fight. You know, when two guys share the same expertise, I feel like it always makes for the most beautiful fights. You know, and that's exactly what I'm preparing for. I'm preparing for 3 rounds of balls to the wall, going crazy, hard paced, hard nosed type of fight. I know the kid's got no quit in him. I know he's tough. I know he's young and naive and has never felt a loss. So I know he's coming hungry for the win, obviously. So I'm gonna go out there and do everything in my power to make sure that's not the case. I want to
I
make him
love
quit.
it. I love it, man. It's a big opportunity. You visualized a lot. So what happens on September 20th, by the way? You get the win, you get the contract. Does the barber shop remain? Do you step away from that to focus on the UFC career?
Absolutely. Look at this, man. I built this from ground up, man. This has been what I've been doing since I was 12 years old, and I feel like it's a well-oiled machine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. If it wasn't for this, I would have never been fighting in the first place. This gave me the financial freedom and then just the time freedom in general to be able to go and venture off and go to Vegas and train, go to Mexico and train, take time off of work to go like fight or whatever. Like if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been able to do this, you know, to the level that I've been doing it, and I'll always be thankful for it. And this is my first love. I've been doing this since I was little. Like I said, I don't think I could ever not do it. If anything's gonna change, it's gonna be the clientele. I'm gonna go from cutting up everybody to cutting up a whole lot of UFC fighters. Is gonna be the difference. I wouldn't mind going. I wouldn't mind being all over the place wherever the UFC takes me to cut people's hair. I'd love that.
I love it. Hey, and listen, not for nothing, it's a pretty damn cool background for your interviews here, man. It's like a
Hey, I
podcast
love it.
space or something like that.
Check it. Look, I made that mural right there. I made that by myself. Right there, you got. Hold on. Right there, you got this picture of me cutting up my coach, and then right here, you got a picture of me with Herb Dean as when I was an amateur. Right here.
Look at that, man. See?
Yeah, see, it's a cool little spot for sure.
I dig it, man. I dig it. And hey, you know, the UFC might travel somebody around to cut people's hair. I mean, who doesn't want to get a little trim right before their fight, you know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think, God willing, I go out there and I get my contract. I can guarantee you that I will be the best barber in the entire UFC. Absolutely.
I think there's a space for that. I mean, look, the women, they get their hair braided because obviously they got to get it all pulled back. Why shouldn't they have somebody around to cut the dudes up right before the fight?
Absolutely. And if you haven't seen it, you need to look at it because I promise you, that's it. I'm a great fighter, but I'm also a great barber. So if you look at my stuff, the work speaks for itself. Check it out. Mando cut it on Instagram. You'll see it, and you'll see that. I mean,
I love it.
The time will show. The haircuts will show.
Not one, but 2 UFC contracts coming up. You're getting the fight contract and the barber contract, man, starting on September 20th.
That's the goal, man. I need it. All of it.
I love it, man. Well, we're looking forward to it. On paper, it looks like it's going to be a fantastic fight. And, man, just looking forward to the opportunity. And we'll see you on September 20th at the Apex.
Yes, sir. We'll see you there.